take you out.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor is one of my favorite titles of 2023. Unfortunately, it has a lot of performance problems, especially on PC. The 7th patch was just released last week, and I thought I would check it out. They've added DLSS upscaling, which is great news for RTX card owners. My PC is equipped with a RTX 3080 12GB GPU and a Ryzen 7 5800X CPU. Now, this game isn't really GPU limited unless you're running native 4K. It's very CPU limited, and because it's an Unreal Engine title, it doesn't really utilize CPU threads or cores very well. If you look over at the graph, you can see that it's really only using one thread, and you'll notice a lot of traversal stutters. This is 1440p native. Now, as Cal crosses this bridge, you'll see some of the broken screen space reflections on the water, which is another visual bug they've never fixed since launch. But because it's so CPU limited, there's all these traversal stutters really in Koboh. This is the worst area of the game. So it doesn't really matter what you do here, even with DLSS upscaling, which by the way does look a lot better than the TAA that they use for anti-aliasing in Unreal, and it also looks a lot better than FSR. You'll still notice those same frame time spikes as we're overlooking this vista right here. Yep, it didn't really do anything to lighten the CPU load because this game is just not really optimized very well, even after 7 patches. This area has gotten a little bit better, but the frame time spikes are still over the place, so it will never feel smooth. You know, it doesn't look that bad as far as like the average frame rate goes, but these little spikes just kill it, man. So Cal's gonna run around here. Koboh is the worst area in the game. A lot of the game actually runs pretty well. The Jeddah area or the Jeddah planet. That's pretty much a smooth frame time graph, and you can probably get over 100 frames per second at 1440p native at that area most of the time. But Koboh is full of all these traversal stutters. And they have not really improved that much as the game has been patched and supposedly more optimized. Now I'm going to turn on ray tracing just for kicks and giggles, but this is... The interesting thing about ray tracing in this game is it does not increase the GPU load at all, really. So normally in a game like Spider-Man Remastered or Cyberpunk, the GPU is going to get hammered when you turn on ray tracing, but there will be a CPU cost a lot of times. But in Jedi Survivor, there really doesn't seem to be... I'm running DLSS, ray tracing, 1440p right now, and if you look at the GPU load, it's 50-60%. But the CPU load, that one thread that's being hammered every once in a while, it's just that's the reason why the frame times are now real spiky in the 40s. Unfortunately, the game looks Fortunately, it's unfortunate that the performance is so bad with ray tracing on because the game looks a lot better with it on. Those broken reflections are fixed, the lighting looks really cool. But they've somehow made it, where the game just does not use the GPU for ray tracing. I'm just some jabroni with a microphone and computer, so I'm not really sure why that is, but it does not behave like your normal ray trace game. Even though it can be pretty visually stunning. So I'm going to run over here, and I'm actually going to get in a fight with these guys, and to show you how the game really, I wouldn't say, is even playable with ray tracing on at even in the 40s and 50s, even if you consider that a playable frame rate, which I would. The spikes are so bad that it just is not. It never feels smooth, which is really important in an action game like this. And there's a really bad spike coming up as I fight this Citrus droid guy. Yes, getting in the 50s right now, which isn't too bad. A lot of particle effects. This game is really fun, by the way. I've played it 3 times through, and the performance problems don't make it necessarily less fun. It's just not a smooth experience. And I had to dip down way into the 30s. That was a big stutter. Even with a locked 30 FPS cap, there's so much input lag, and you'll still get these weird spikes like into the 20s and teens then. So yeah, the game's just not playable with ray tracing on and all. So I'm going to turn ray tracing off here, and this is probably the way I would recommend playing it right now, which would be with a 50 FPS cap using I'm using Riva Tuner right now. I think that probably has the smoothest frame times, and the NVIDIA control panel is okay too, but it doesn't seem like it. I don't know if there's really that big of a difference, but it just seems like Riva Tuner kind of smooths out the frame times a little bit better. And if you look at the frame time graph now, it's just there's a little spike every once in a while, which isn't too bad, you know. But we're still CPU limited here, you know. I mean, capping it to 60 just makes the stutters a little less noticeable, but it's still going to stutter. You know, these aren't shader compilation stutters because they're occurring every single time. So, and Jedi Survivor compiles shaders every single time you boot up the game for some reason, which I don't even know if it's doing anything past the initial compile, you know, when you update your graphics driver or whatever. But yeah, this is how I would probably play the game. The game is still playable. It's a great game. I would probably buy it on sale though, because I don't think that in 2023 we should be dealing with these kind of choppy PC port things. It's not like this is not a frame rate issue necessarily, where the game is just, and the game is really good looking, but it's not like a Cyberpunk path tracing issue where we're just hammering the game with real-time ray traced lighting effects and everything like that. It's that the game just is not using the CPU hardly. You know, as you can just look at this entire time while I'm fighting, there's just that one thread that's getting hammered and nothing else. So.
You're the best.
So yeah, after 7 patches, Jedi Survivor, DLSS upscaling, cool, but otherwise not really that improved. Still spiky CPU frame time. So really good game. Just be prepared for performance problems with it. That's it.